All right, I have 6:30. I will call the Tuesday, February 7th, 2023 Board of Public Works and Utilities meetings to order. I will start with roll call. Mayor Kim Smith.
Here.
Alder Stephen Knott is myself. I am here. Alder Larry Jurassic.
Present.
Jared Holter
Here.
and Sabrina Steger.
Here.
And then I also understand that we have Alder Stevens, Wolf, and Smith on the telephone. And we have Alder Stokes here present with us today. Didn't I say him? Stevens, Wolf, and Smith? Okay. All right. Okay. Next is consideration and action on minutes from the previous meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes from last meeting by Mayor Smith, seconded by Sabrina Steger. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Next is public input. Anyone wishing to provide public input will be limited to 3 minutes. Please identify your name and your address. First call for public input. Second call for public input. Anybody on the phone? Third and final call for public input. Public input is closed. Next is consideration and possible action on the following items. Beginning with number 4, professional engineering services for water system evaluation. Jared.
Thank you. In your packet tonight, you can see we have included the request for proposals for water system evaluation and modeling. This is a 10-year update. We have not performed this for our water system for 10 years. As you can see by the request for proposals, there's a lot of items involved in this, a lot of future planning, capital projects. This really gives us our outline for the next 10 years on how we address a number of things, whether it's water supply or facilities or some of the emerging contaminants that we see in the water field. We did send it out to 4 firms. We had one firm contact us and say they were not available to respond. We did have 3 firms give us their request for proposals back to us. We did have $75,000 budgeted for this endeavor. This was probably one of the harder ones we've had in quite a while, just trying to score everything. All 3 firms we felt were qualified to do the work. Once we got down to the end of the day and discussing this between myself and city engineer Kevin Schubert, we really feel at the end of the day, we really wanted to recommend going forward with Strand Associates. They were the highest scoring of the 3 firms. They were the highest cost slightly than the other 2 firms, but we looked at the hours within the proposals, and it seemed like their hours made sense of what they were proposing. We did a 75,000 budget, so we are still less than what we had planned on, and we feel this would be very good to move forward with. So we are recommending Strand Associates moving forward.
I make a motion that we move ahead with Strand for the professional engineering services for the water system evaluation at a cost of $70,900.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve Strand for $70,900 bid made by Mayor Smith, seconded by Alder Jurassic. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item number 5, bids received for tandem axle truck equipment. Again, Jared.
In your packet tonight, I have included the bid tabulation for the tandem axle dump box plow and equipment for that cabin chassis that we actually ordered a little over a year ago. It is being built currently. We did budget for this in June of 2021 and included in a 2022 capital improvement budget. During that time, we've seen obviously inflation at a near record pace. Steel prices have doubled, and these units are almost entirely made out of steel other than the electronics that are in there. We did budget 167,000. You can see from the bid tabulation that it came in at with the options that we are requesting for $224,561. I will note that that does include option D, which is actually a deduct of 18,500. So we're actually going with plastic tanks instead of stainless steel tanks. So if we wanted the same truck we received with the last bid, it would actually be 18,500 more. So we did try and find some cost savings in there because we knew that we were high. We did budget for this in the 2022 capital projects with the fund balance that was available at the time. There is enough sufficient balance to cover this overage if we feel we want to move forward with it. I don't think these prices are going to go down anytime soon. I do not feel that this, with the cost of what the market is bearing right now, this is what we're finding for costs for this sort of equipment. I guess I can let Finance Director Steger chime in if she wants, but I did discuss it with her to make sure that we're in line with what we had in the fund balance.
And go ahead and put a motion on the floor so we can discuss it. I move that we approve awarding universal truck equipment for the base bid and options B, C, D, E, F. Says and F and H in the amount of $22,561. Is it supposed to be two Fs or should it be
Yeah.
G?
204,000.
I only see one F.
I see one F and a G.
I don't have a G. That is very well.
Okay. And did I hear you say A as well?
It did not
No, 'cause-
say
Actually, that it should be A,
Huh?
and we did not option B. That is highlighted wrong.
A.
So
Okay, that is,
we're requesting option A, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And if you run the total across, they'll come to the 224,561. We are not going forward with the Wisconsin Amber Green Light System for 1,580. We did not option that. No,
Okay.
that's-
please have my motion reflect as the Public Works Director has described.
I'll second. So motion to approve the bid for the universal truck equipment for the tandem axle truck with options A, C, D, E, F, and G, and H, total 224,561. Motion made by Mayor Smith, seconded by myself. For discussion, I have two quick questions myself. So they both have to deal with option D. You mentioned that we're going to get a credit of 18,500 because we're going with plastic versus steel for that item. Is there any significant difference in durability or longevity with going plastic versus steel?
I feel the plastic tanks will last. They may crack, may have to have a replacement, but we can replace them for a fraction of the cost of the steel
okay.
tanks. So I think our staff have looked at this. The truck manufacturer that manufactures this equipment has come out with this because they understand the steel prices are so high. It is protected with some steel bracing, so it's not just the plastic hanging out. So I feel we'll be fine with that option.
Okay, because I was gonna say for $18,000, if there's a big difference, then 18,000 is probably well spent. But okay, and then the second question I have is for Sabrina. So this is $57,000 over the budget that we initially had proposed. I know Jared said that you have he doesn't believe you have an issue with us having that money on hand. I just wanted to, I guess, hear that to be sure.
Yeah, so we did have some savings in 2020 from just essentially over budgeting some areas where things came in under budget. So we should be good to use that balance that's sitting in there from 2020. That is kind of normal for some of our projects. Like if we like during our capital improvement process, we will say, oh, well, we have some funding left over from 2020, so we'll use a portion of that towards this project. So that's been kind of the norm in the past. This 57,000 won't be there then, for when we are looking at 2024's capital improvements, but Jared's aware of that, so should be good to go.
Any other questions or discussion?
Jared,
Yes, Larry.
Is this bid then just through the state? Correct?
No, we actually bid this out, advertised in the newspaper. We did only receive one bid.
Okay.
There are very few, equipment, installers in the state. There's actually one called Monroe Truck. They have not bid for quite some time, and there's one by Green Bay and one by Minneapolis. So Universal Truck and Equipment is about 15 miles up the road, and it just, people can't compete with them because they're so close. So we just typically, over the last 10 years, we've been getting one bid.
Okay, thank you.
But you've been doing the due diligence, asking for other. bids,
Correct. We
just
have been,
getting-
I included the advertisement for bid in the packet.
I
tonight.
just wanted that to be on the record.
We had done it, yep.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item number 6, forestry consultant services for 2023 citywide urban forestry inventory. Is Katie online or are you taking this?
I'm taking this.
Okay,
So, as your, Katie Aspenson, our planning director, has been soliciting for consulting firms to update our urban forestry inventory. This will be for all the trees within the city. This was last done between 2015 and 17 in various areas of the city. We use this extensively to answer questions about our urban forests when people call. Also assist staff in knowing which trees are damaged, which trees are in need of what condition they're in. So this is an integral item in keeping up on our urban forest. We have looked at the cost proposals and the scoring. As you can see in your packet tonight, Davy Resource Group did score a 352. We are recommending that we move forward with them, even though they are not the lowest cost. They are actually in the middle. Once we reviewed references and looked at services provided, we felt that they would offer the services the city was requesting in the request for proposals, and the references supported that. This has been gone through with the attorney, and they have worked out their agreement on the services contract. So staff is recommending Davy Resource Group for $36,822. We do have this in the 2023 capital improvement budget for $50,000 budgeted. Of that, half of that would come from the Wisconsin DNR in the form of a grant.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and make a motion to select Davy Resource Group for the forestry consultant services for the 2023 citywide urban forestry inventory at a cost of $36,822, which is below the budgeted amount.
I'll second.
okay. Motion to approve Davy Resource Group for forestry consultant services for our urban forestry inventory for $36,822. Motion made by Mayor Smith, seconded by Sabrina Steger. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, motion passes. Item number 7, Wisconsin Department of Transportation State Municipal Agreement for Theater Road, East Main to Midwest Drive. Back to Jared.
In your packet tonight, I have included the proposed state municipal agreement for the project that you have in front of you. This project would include replacement of parts and pieces, the interior computer system, and adding new components to the traffic signal at East Main and Theater Road, which was installed in 1999. And it would also include milling and paving from the Midwest Drive intersection up to and including the East Main Street intersection as part of this project. With this is we have competitively applied for these dollars. These are SDP urban dollars that are getting funneled down through the federal government through our metropolitan planning organization. We would have a 20% match for this project. So as you can see in your summary of costs, the total estimated cost for the project is $443,579, with the city receiving $349,007, with approximately $95,000 to be paid by the city. So if we approve this tonight in a council meeting, it will be moving forward through the capital improvement budget, and we will be soliciting for engineering services to provide the design for this project.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve that agreement with the DOT regarding Theater Road, East Main to Midwest Drive.
I'll second. So motion made to approve the state municipal agreement for Theater Road, East Main to Midwest Drive, made by Mayor Smith, seconded by myself. For discussion, I do have one question myself. When I look at the notes on this on page 15, I see the federal funds of $349,007, but on the asterisk note underneath, it says federal funding is limited to $351,395. So why the difference of $2,388 and why aren't we getting that?
So what these projects are is this is the best estimate at cost is in the cost summary. We are capped at $351,395 and the city will have to pay any costs above the 80%. And this project will probably either get constructed in 25 or 26. And I have never seen one of these projects come in under the summary of cost sheet yet.
Okay,
So the city will end up receiving the full 351,395 at the end of the day.
more likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or discussion?
I was just gonna ask two questions. One, what we budgeted for, but also then, can you just like briefly say the vision for that, the Theater Road? So this would include upgrading this, can you just
Yep,
go through it?
yep.
You know what I
So-
mean? Like with the lanes and the
Yep.
roundabouts and,
So this project here is just for the traffic signal at East Main and Theater. We would upgrade the intersection like we did about 5 years ago at 12th and Main and Sand Lake, where we would put new controls in the control cabinet. Instead of having loops for pre-detection of vehicles, we put up cameras to actually look at the camera, not cameras to like where you can see the video of the camera. The camera is actually a detection system for knowing if the car is there to switch to lighting. Putting in all new signal heads to LEDs, all new LED lighting, all new wiring, everything like that. And then it would also include the pavement on Theater Road was paved in 1997. So we would stop just north of the Midwest Drive intersection where the new pavement is from the 2015 project where we put the Midwest Drive signal in, mill up to East Main and including part of East Main and then repave it. So we'd have a nice new fresh asphalt surface. Does that?
and then can you go into the lane, because how it's gonna change from 2 lanes in each direction in the next section going down?
So we haven't got into this section yet because we haven't designed it yet to know whether we're gonna go to a 3-lane configuration in this section or leave it as 4. When we go through the design process and we have a public information meeting for this project, we will bring that forward as a recommendation. But as you're pointing out, Mayor, south of Midwest Drive down to PH, we are going to a 3-lane configuration. So we'll look at how operationally that'll work and whether we'll recommend to do that up here too.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, how
Yep.
it all fit together. Thank
Yep.
you.
We will be looking into that. It's just a matter, I don't have the numbers. We haven't crunched numbers on how many cars and turning movements and things like that.
Any other questions or discussion?
Jared,
Yes, Larry,
will this be going on the same time that they're gonna be doing the circle?
we're
Behind McDonald's?
hoping to construct the compact roundabout at PH and Theater Road in 24. So if this at earliest would be built in 25 at earliest.
Okay,
If we would get delayed with the compact roundabout at Theater Road, we may probably push this project to 26. We'll have to see how the schedules work out. These state projects take a long time because they have federal environmental documents that have to be performed as part of the project and more design process due to the state bidding system. So, but I know where you're going, Alder Jurassic there with, we won't want to have both ends of Theater Road torn up at the same time.
yeah. Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Number 8 is pay estimates. We have 5 items. I'll entertain a motion.
Move we approve the pay estimates as described in our packet.
I'll second. Okay, motion to approve the pay estimates, 5 items as published by Mayor Smith, seconded by myself. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That completes the Public Works portion of the agenda. We now move on to utilities. Item number 9, there is no report, which brings us to item number 10. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, well, all right, I'll give Larry that one. All right, so,
Hey, I have a quick question.
all right, one
Sorry.
moment, we'll have a discussion quick. So motion to adjourn by Mayor Smith, seconded by Larry Jurassic. Any discussion? Go ahead, Sabrina.
So, I think with item, hold on one second. The vehicle, the tandem truck, I think we want to approve items B through H. Because when you add items B through H, that's where you get to the 224, 561.
And that is what my packet had,
Yeah,
weirdly, B, C, D, E, and then F was listed twice.
yep, and I think if you do the math, it should be B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. But
Sabrina, do you have your calculator along? Because I don't have mine along.
yeah,
my
I did calculate it and it
Yep.
should be B through H.
Then that's incorrect because can you run a total quick with A, C, D, E, F, G, and H? Should be less by
Double check.
$993.
Yep, give me 1 second.
You can always correct it at council too. Need to.
So 2226. That's probably what we'll have to do unless we can go back on the agenda. I don't know if we can. Might have to correct this at common council.
And I can, how about I just put it on the,
Why don't
agenda?
you
I'll just
take
put it on the
time to-
council agenda and attach it just for information with your correct number.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
don't you just take the time to get what's correct instead of trying to rush now at the end of a meeting?
You can do that.
All right. So back to motion and second to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Sorry
Opposed?
about that. I didn't know if I could do that.
That's
No
okay.
problem.
Better to
Opposed?
bring it up.
The motion passes. We are adjourned. Time is 6:52.